You probably know the simple story of our evolution, a slow, steady march from caves to cities. But what if that story is missing its most incredible, most unsettling, and most mysterious chapters? What if I told you that deep in our past, our ancestors held knowledge that challenges what we think we know? And what if the evidence has been right in front of us all along, hidden in our bones and buried in the earth? Today, we're not just looking at history, we are uncovering 7 of the biggest mysteries from our ancient past. These are the discoveries that are rewriting our own origin story and revealing a past that is far more advanced and far more mysterious than we have ever been led to believe. Secret 1. The incredible leap in brain power. The old story says our brains grew slowly and steadily, but the evidence suggests something far more dramatic. Over the course of human evolution, brain size tripled. A key period for this growth happened between about 800,000 and 200,000 years ago, a time of intense climate change. This wasn't just a simple upgrade, it was an explosion of cognitive power that helped our ancestors survive in unpredictable environments, but the sheer speed of this encephalization remains a huge puzzle. What exactly triggered this incredible leap, turning an early hominid into a creature capable of mastering a planet? Secret 2. The silent dawn of language. Every great human achievement, from building cities to exploring the stars, hinges on language. Yet, its origin is the ultimate secret because it left no fossils. For decades, many assumed language was a recent invention, but new genomic evidence suggests the biological capacity for it was in place at least 135,000 years ago, long before the Great Migrations out of Africa. Some researchers even believe our cousins, the Neanderthals, possessed the genetic hardware for speech. If the ability was there, why does symbolic culture, like art and complex rituals, only seem to take off in the archaeological record much later? It suggests our ancestors held the key to modern thinking for tens of thousands of years before we see it fully unleashed. Secret 3. The ghost lineages in our DNA. We know many of us carry DNA from Neanderthals, but they aren't the only ghosts in our genome. Genetic sequencing has revealed that our ancestors interbred with multiple archaic human groups. We found the DNA of the Denisovans, a mysterious population known from just a few fragments of bone and teeth. But it goes deeper. Scientists have now found evidence of at least 2 more ghost populations in our DNA. One is a theoretical super-archaic lineage that may have split from our own as far back as 1.8 million years ago. This means our ancestors may have encountered and mixed with human relatives that were ancient even to them. Who were these lost relatives? And what other forgotten branches of the human family tree are waiting to be found in our DNA? Secret 4. Surgery before civilization. We tend to picture our ancestors as primitive, but in a cave in Borneo, archaeologists found something that shatters that image. The 31,000-year-old skeleton of a young person whose lower leg was surgically amputated. The bone shows clean healing, meaning the individual survived for years after the procedure. This discovery predates the next oldest known complex surgery by tens of thousands of years. To pull this off, the surgeon must have had a sophisticated understanding of anatomy, how to prevent infection, and a plan for post-operative care, all long before the rise of agriculture or cities. This wasn't an accident. It was an advanced medical procedure, practiced tens of thousands of years earlier than we believed possible. Secret 5. The awakening of the human mind. For hundreds of thousands of years, our ancestors looked a lot like us, yet their behavior was fundamentally different. Then, something changed. We see glimmers of it in the 100,000-year-old ochre processing workshops in Blombos Cave in South Africa, and in the famous 75,000-year-old engraved ochre from the same site. We see it in elaborate burials where the dead were laid to rest with care. This is the birth of symbolic thought, the moment we began to use abstract symbols to store information and express ideas. But we don't know exactly what sparked it. Was it a slow burn or a sudden flash of consciousness? This awakening is what truly makes us human, but its trigger remains one of our most profound secrets.
Secret 7. The Uncharted Migrations. The story used to be simple. Modern humans walked out of Africa in a single wave around 60,000 years ago, but the latest evidence proves this is wrong. There were multiple migrations out of Africa, with some waves happening as early as 100,000 to 200,000 years ago. Many of these early pioneering groups seem to have vanished, leaving little to no detectable trace in the DNA of most people alive today. These were not simple treks. They were epic journeys across hostile landscapes. How did they navigate? What drove them forward into the unknown? The simple story of our global conquest is a myth. The truth is a far more complex and mysterious saga of trial, error, and forgotten expeditions. Which of these mysteries do you find most compelling? Was it the hint of lost medical knowledge or the ghost lineages hidden in our own cells? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Our history isn't a straight line. It's a tangled map filled with lost worlds, forgotten ancestors, and abilities that shouldn't have existed. The evidence is clear. Our past is far more complex and wondrous than the simple story we've been told. These 7 mysteries show us that we are a species still piecing together its own origin story. The question is, what other truths about ourselves remain buried, just waiting to be found?